So it's Friday interview time. We're catching up with George Elokobi ahead of tomorrow's match against Chesham United. George, a side you'll be familiar with, of course, from last season's FA Cup run. They got their promotion, of course, at the end of last season. How have you prepared for this game this weekend?
Just like any other week, it's been preparation. It's been very, very good in terms of our approach, in terms of, nailing down certain details that we want to impose ourselves in the game tomorrow. And we know we're coming up against a very, very organized side. Chesham is a very, very tough team to play against. And tomorrow, we expect no different. We expect a very, very tough test against us here at home.
For a promoted side, they've certainly settled in very well, upper echelons of the table as well, which is a good start for them.
No, definitely, they have, which is good to see. But it's important that we show them every bit of respect in terms of analysing what their strengths, weaknesses are. But it's important that we know them, and we've done that in our environment. And tomorrow, we want to carry on with the momentum that we've created in the last two games, and we have to win the battle first, and then try to impose our game plan on them.
I don't like to look forward too much, but it's the first opportunity we've had to obviously talk about that FA Cup draw that was made on Monday, and we're going to be away at Herne Bay. How do you see that one faring?
Always a pleasure being in the hat for the draw of the FA Cup. Like I said before the Hampton and Richmond game, we wanted to be in the hat, and we didn't, stop running. And a fantastic delivery and a fantastic header by Reese, and then obviously Shakor first was in the right place at the right time. But I thought his header was a tremendous header in terms of guiding it and twisting his body in the way that he did, and making sure that goes in the back of the net. And that was the last 30 seconds or last minute of the game, which is credit to our group of players. But then we've put that to bed. Yes, we know Herne Bay is going to be our next opposition in the FA Cup, but we'll get to that bridge and we'll cross it when that time comes. But first, we've got to look at the Chesham game and make sure we leave no stone unturned in terms of our preparations. And the lads have been fantastic this week in terms of their approach, in terms of taking in information, in terms of their execution in training, and more importantly, in possession, out of possession, making sure everyone knows what's required, and that's good to see.
In terms of your squad, a couple of players in Riley Court and Sam Smith get some loan time down at Hive Town. Hopefully that will get them some minutes under their belt and some more experience in men's football.
Yeah, definitely. Like we said, with Riley, Court and Sam Smith, they've been knocking on the door and they've had plenty of minutes. And to be honest, they've been very good in terms of when they've been called upon. Obviously, you don't want to be playing them week in, week out. It's not ideal in terms of where we are at the table. Not that they're not capable, but we've got obviously Rhys Greenish back, who didn't put the foot wrong before going on his international duties, which brings him back into the team. And we've got other players back, and obviously we've signed the trustee as well that can cover in the centre back position as much as he's a midfielder. So we saw that as an opportunity to get Sam Smith out, to get that that men's football is going to help him in terms of his development, and making sure we don't leave out young Riley Court as well. They need these loan moves in order for them to stay relevant, to stay not that they weren't relevant, in order for them to stay fit and gain those experiences that we want them to. It's all part and parcel of their development to ensure that they're developing in the right speed. There is no point leaving them in the environment. Obviously, they train with us, but then they train probably twice with the teams that they're playing with. But it's important that they keep playing, and sometimes they'll make those mistakes, and if they do, they'll learn from it with consistent and regular football, and that's important for their development. We don't just want to keep them and then you dip them in and out. It doesn't benefit the players. So we're looking at that development phase where they've gone out for a month. Can they get as many games as possible under their belt, and then we see where they are. And if they find that level too easy, then obviously head of recruitment Zach Foster-Crouch will have to look at it as a management team, and then we see where we are.
And departure this week in Bruno Andrade. So how did that come about?
Firstly, a massive thank you to Bruno Andrade. Obviously, when we brought him in pre-season, it was for him to try and show us what he can bring into our environment. And you know, his attitude, his approach in pre-season was spotless. It was immense in terms of what he brought. We saw a lot of promise in terms of the position that he operates on the pitch. And obviously, when the season started, we're looking at the squad, we're looking at how personnel are settling in, and also we're looking at, you know, how are they contributing. And I think he's contributed in terms of as much as he could. But going forward, we looked at it, and I looked at it, and I made a decision of not extending his stay with us. And it's important that, you know, we keep looking at, you know, balancing the squad and making sure we bring in personnel that can help us, and that opens up the way for, obviously, for us to bring in you know, Trusty, but also give us a chance to bring in Papadopoulos as well, who can operate in that position that Bruno plays in if you want him to. But more importantly, we're always looking. You know, our recruitment team is out there, head of recruitment, director of football. We're always looking to try and make sure we know which players are out there, but also we look within the environment, and we have to be true to ourselves, and we have to be, you know, we have to be mindful that we keep making sure the balance within the team is right, and you know, we have the right personnel in that can impact games the way we want them to. So Bruno Andrade is not going to be with us going forward, but I thanked him for his time here with us and respected his contribution here, and you know, we wish him all the very best as a football club on behalf of the board, director of football, myself, and the management team, and our squad, and I'm sure our supporters as well. Wish him all the very best with his next journey, and I'm sure we'll cross paths again. But no, so that's why.
George, thanks for your time as always, and we'll catch up with you again after the game tomorrow.
Thank you.